Polight story, Sinetta's story, Minister Enqi's story. Who do we believe? I mean, do we believe Polight? You know, even though they have DNA evidence against them. But should we just say, you know, it's just false accusations? There's no way in the world Polight could do these things. He's a teacher. He's taught me this and he's taught me that. He's made me become conscious. Should we believe Minister Enqi? I mean, hell, Minister Enqi was around when ever since Polight's inception. Should we believe Sinetta? I mean, Sinetta's, he made Polight. I mean, reality, I mean, who should we really believe? And I know I made videos about Polight. In the very beginning, the first video that I did, I asked those questions. And then I came, back in the second video of the Polight that I did, and I saw the DNA evidence. I looked at Tasha K's video. I looked at several different videos, and I passed judgment and said that he was guilty. But I've came full circle and asked this question to myself and others. Who should we believe? And the reality of it is if anyone were to say, what is Langston's doctrine? What is his ideology? It's plain and simple. It's not complicated. You shouldn't believe in Sinetta. You shouldn't believe in Polight. You shouldn't believe in Minister Enqi. You shouldn't believe in none of the stuff that they're saying. You shouldn't even believe in them as men. Who you should be believing in is yourself. That plain and simple. Because at the end of the day, none of this shit should be important to you. The most important things in your life, the things that should matter in your life, is what matters to you. And that is self-preservation. And all of this stuff, all of this conscious gossip, because that's what it is. The reality of it is people don't give a damn whether Polight touched that little child or not. It's all gossip. And for those that are on YouTube that have a platform, it's a way of making money because you can monetize your videos. Every time you post a video about Polight. It's simple. I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to put Polight's face, use his face as a thumbnail, and I'm going to put his name in the title of this channel. This video. And when it says, do you want to monetize this video? I'm going to put yes. So really, nobody cares about the victim. And what's happening is we're just a mirror image of the society that we despise. We're a mirror image of the people that we claim that sleep. That's it. What's the difference? Seriously, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just being real. I'm not being sarcastic. What's the difference between Wendy Williams, the Wendy Williams show, and Sinetta TV? Please explain that to me. Especially when Sinetta goes off and he gets all emotional. Talking about he got the receipts. It's the same type of rhetoric that Wendy Williams show uses. She got receipts. She brings up videos and of celebrities doing shit that they said they didn't do. It's gossip. That's all it is. At the end of the day, what does it really matter to you in your life? When September the 15th comes, is your life his day in court? That is Polight. Judgment day for him. Is your life gonna change after the verdict is rendered? After the charges are dropped? If he has to do 15 years? Does it really matter? Does it make a difference in your life? And if it does, if it makes you go to sleep at night, if it makes you become a better person, then goddamn it, you need to look yourself in the mirror and say, I am crazy. Because regardless of what happens to Polight after this September the 15th, it's not going to make me or break me. I'm still going to have to continue to pay my taxes, pay my bills, take care of my children, put gas in the car, eat, exercise, shit, sleep. Same shit that I was doing before all of this shit popped off. And that's what we need to do. We need to redirect our energy back to ourselves. And it's okay to every now and then check up and see how things are going with the, with the whole situation. Because I do think if anyone should be concerned, and if it should matter to anyone, it should matter to the women out there that have been abused, that have been the R word, because I don't want to, mess up the algorithms. And for those that want to know why I don't want to mess up the algorithms, because I'm not wasting my time. This video will be monetized. Period. So, yeah, the R word that have been touched when they were younger. This situation is for those women now. Those women that were little girls that have been through the same thing as that Polight took that little girl through. So if it should matter to anyone, it should matter to the women, the females. And as men, if we learn anything from this situation, is this: we need to protect our little girls, our young women, and our adult women. They need our protection, because if we were there, right, this would have never happened to that young lady, that young girl. Period. This is kind of relevant, but not. I've done videos about Dr. Malachi York in which Polight has said on camera that Dr. Malachi York is his God, right? Dr. York, for those that don't know, is a cult leader. He founded the cult organization called the Nubian Nation, which I was a part of. And now he's doing 135 years for touching little children. It's not even allegedly. He pled guilty. You can go to YouTube and you can see on YouTube that he pled guilty. Not only once, but twice, right? I feel as though that I was mentally molested. And some person, when I said that on one of the videos, that I talked about if I was dealing with Dr. Malachi York, they said that I was using that out of context or whatever have you. I feel as though that at the point in time, that my mind was young, right? And that Dr. York, I'm making this relevant. Dr. York, not specifically him, but his doctrine, and because we would go out and tie bleach, so it wasn't physically him, but there were people that were talking. He was talking through them to get to people, a young kid such as myself, a young adult. I feel as though I really feel in my heart as though that when I was young, when I was in my early 20s, I had a mind on a conscious level, that is, of a 12, 13-year-old. I didn't know anything about nothing. I didn't know we were the original Egyptians. I didn't know nothing. All I knew at that point in time was that I was a slave, and that's how I got here. White people took me from Africa, brought me over here, the end. It's obvious that this man, Dr. Malachi York, that has, at that point in time, claimed that he wrote over 600 books, knew way more than I could possibly know about myself, as well as just our history as African Americans and Africans, period. And what he did is he wrote books in order to make it look as though, appear that he was a savior, one that was going to come and rescue us, the 144,000. And I fell for it. Because in a conscious world, I had the mind of a 12 and a 13-year-old, and I was easily taken advantage of, or rather molested, with his false, fraudulent doctrine of him being a man from the planet Risk. Point that I'm trying to make to you, if my father was there to tell me, man, that ain't nothing but a two-bit hustler. My father was born and raised in Brooklyn. He knew about Dr. York. If he was there, and if he had any type of love and care, he would have told me that that man ain't nothing but a piece of shit. So if anything were to come out of this situation for us dealing with the men, is that we need to step our game the fuck up and let our sons and daughters know that there are predators out there that will come under the name of some conscious name called Ra or Tet. I'm in Tet and I'm in this. They'll wear daishikis. They'll wear ankhs. They'll wear whatever type of costume that requires them to wear in order for them to take advantage of you. And you have to be aware, because at the end of the day, what we need to do is we need to physically strengthen our minds so that we won't have to rely on a Dr. Malachi York or a Polight or any type of so-called pseudo leader anymore. That is the solution. If anybody were to want to know what's the solution towards the problem of getting rid of these fake ass teachers and leaders and street scholars, strengthen your mind and believe in yourself. That's it. It's nothing complicated about that. You don't need to be part of no organization. You don't need the first thing is self-preservation, self-motivation. You need to be motivated, not externally, but first internally. Look in that mirror, and every day your mantra you should say that I am great. I believe in myself. The first order of business is to have high self-esteem. And it's crazy, but it's the truth. You could tell the difference between a child that was raised by a mother and a father in comparison to one that wasn't raised by one. Was either raised by the mother or the father, but not both. And you could tell based on their mental strength who's gonna make it. Yeah, true indeed, there are exceptions to the rules. But most times, child that was raised by the mother and the father will excel way more faster than that person or child that was raised in a single parent household. That plain and simple. That's the only thing we need to learn from this situation, is that we need to love one another. Like, love one another, and we need to love ourselves. That's it. Polight is nothing but a distraction. Straight up. That's all he is. Look at what he's doing. He's moving on with his life. He's popping bottles. He's doing the same type of shit he was doing prior to the incident that has been broadcast and known now of what happened in February. He's doing the same shit. He popping bottles. He's scamming people. He's doing the same shit that he normally does. While we sitting here constantly talking about him, and now we bringing everybody else in the picture. Now we questioning everybody else. Now we're included Enqi and Sinetta and other people that wasn't even there when Polight did what he did to that little child. But now we're saying, we're taking a finger that was pointing on Polight. Now we pointing at Sinetta, talking about now he needs to go to jail too. And Enqi too. Like as if they touched that little child. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say whether they frauds or not or whatever. This is not the time and the place in this video right now, right? But I will say this. At the end of the day, let's handle those guys if they did something wrong in the conscious community another day. We got a bigger fish to fry. That plain and simple. And you know what that bigger fish is? Yeah, you would say Polight. It's not. The reality of it is that overall, fuck everybody. The bigger fish to fry is freedom. Or at least having that illusion of what freedom is. And the illusion of what freedom is being able to at least pay your bills on time. To be financially free, to be able to get up and go on vacation and not have to worry about whether the lights are being cut off. Being in a situation where you can pay your rent. I just don't understand. It's still here. I had to mute that part out as far as dealing with the virus. It's still here. We need to ante up our immune system. Hurricane Ida is about to hit New Orleans. And it's crazy what they're saying. That while it's hitting New Orleans, this is the something anniversary of Hurricane Katrina. Yo, it's a lot of shit going on, and we still talking about Polight? And then we're distracted by Polight, but now we're distracting ourselves by including other people that should be crucified alongside Polight. And now you got one channel versus the next and the next and the next. Man, it's just a big ass mess. That's the reason why I continue to say the conscious community is dead, and we don't need it. We don't need it. It's just a bunch of, the conscious community right now is just a bunch of people that just fucking gossip. That's it. What's the difference between love and hip hop and the conscious community? I just want to know. If anything, we got far more worse drama and on our TV shows than love and hip hop. We do. Love and hip hop is drama, women throwing Coke soda bottles at each other and, water at each other and acting ratchet and the dudes fighting and all the rest of that stuff. But they don't have on that show men touching little kids. But here on the Conscious Community show, I'm done, man. Yo, believe in yourself and don't allow this Polight situation to be a distraction in what you should be focused on. What you should be focused on is your life and how you can improve it, how you can make it better. And if you have children, that should be the main focal point. Enough said, I shouldn't say anything more. You should know what the deal is. Some of you all, and I'm going to end it like this, some of you all late at night binging off of whoever's talking about Polight while your baby's in the next room crying because she's scared or he's scared of the dark, and you ignoring them. Or you quick to grab the belt and want to whip their ass and then pause it, get the belt and then whip their ass and then run back and unpause the video. Your priorities is all screwed the fuck up, and you need to get back focused. Other than that, my name is Langston2092. I want you to like, comment, subscribe, and definitely share this video. Peace.